you need to go back to square one and do this. And I'm like, no, square one? I have to do this all over again? And she's like, yes, you have to be where he is, you know?
Yeah, and Lauren, don't ever take a week off again or you're in big trouble. We're going to fight.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, I'll tell you one thing you don't think about is when you have a 4.5-year-old is racing out and getting sippy cups when they're 4.5.
Oh, my gosh. He had these hard cups that I found that finally he couldn't bite off the nipple or anything.
Oh, these things are awesome. Now I feel like we should buy 100 of them.
Well, I just bought a 4-pack a couple days ago, and they haven't arrived yet. So, of course, when I needed them the most,
Amazon,
they weren't here.
What are you doing, Amazon? Deliver our cups, man.
So I had to run to Walgreens, and of course there's only 2 types. There's one type for like a 3-month-old, and there's one for a 12-month-old, and the only one that works is the one for the 3-month-old. But he's had this one in the past, and he's bitten the nipples off. So now I'm afraid because he's going to go to school with this cup, and I'm going to have to keep texting the teacher.
Yeah, these are the little things that happen. It's like, I think it was yesterday, like 4:30 in the afternoon. You're like, oh my God, I got to go to Walgreens. I was like, I need sippy cups. I'm like, sippy cups? And you're like, he broke his other cups and Amazon hasn't brought them yet and this and that. And I'm like, oh my God, like what's going on?
He can't drink out of a regular cup yet. And I talked to you about this last night. Like, that's something his ABA therapist will work on him with. So just step-by-step little things that she has to help me with.
He actually thinks if you give him just a regular cup, like it's playtime, and he'll just dump the water on himself.
Yeah,
like
it's ridiculous.
And he thinks it's like, he thinks a cup is like a toy.
Exactly.
Like, oh, an open-ended cup? Like, that's awesome. It's like we're in the bath. I can just pour water all over myself, and that's what he'll do.
Or he'll immediately put his hand in it.
Yeah, and it'll all come splashing out of the top.
Yeah. If we have a glass in the living room, that's what he tries to do. He tries to put his hand in it.
Well, and that's how he's ruined a lot of his iPads, by water coming out of the cup and, you know, getting on the iPad and shorting out the iPad.
Yeah, but I spent half my night, because I was like, this cup isn't working, but I don't have a choice. So I spent half my night teaching him how to use this new cup. It's ridiculous.
How do you think on a scale of 1 to 10 that went? Like,
well, he's still having a hard time with it.
Yeah.
So it's awful.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
4. And the other one was 0.
Well, I think though we checked yesterday that they're coming today. The other cups, the ones that he's used to.
Yeah, by 10 p.m.
Oh, they say that it'll be here. It'll be here like in an hour.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
This kid drinks so much water, but when he's just looking at this cup, like, nope, I'm not gonna have this, and I'm like, no, you have to drink out of this cup. Like, you're eating a snack. And so I just had to keep showing him.
He does drink so much water. Do you think there's a thing that you can drink? Like, can you drink too much? He doesn't drink too much water, does he?
No, I think he drinks a good amount.
Okay.
I mean, no, I don't think it's too much.
Because he drinks a lot of water. I mean, he drinks nothing else. It's just water.
Yes.
Which is a good thing. Because anything else is like, like juices are bad for you. You know, milk has tons of sugar, believe it or not.
I've tried giving him juices because, you know, there's a trick for like antibiotics. You can cut out the back of a juice box and put the little antibiotic cup and then put the hole in it, like, so that he can't see from behind. Do you understand that?
No.
Well,
that makes no sense.
Yes, you take the juice out and put the little cup of antibiotics, and then the hole for the straw is going in the antibiotic. But he only sees the front of the juice box.
Oh.
It's a trick. I've seen people do it.
Oh, my gosh.
But he wouldn't even.
Who would fall for that?
Kids do fall for it. Because they think they're drinking the juice box, so that's all they see.
Oh.
But the antibiotic is behind it. Anyways,
Jeez.
I couldn't even try that because I tried to give him the juice box just to taste the apple juice, and he spit it out. So, anyways, he's a water kid.
Yeah. Thank goodness he's a water kid, because that's good. I mean, that's, you know, it's hard to get, I mean, autism and spectrum and everything, all that aside, like, it's just hard sometimes to get kids to drink water. We have been very lucky with all of our kids.
Yes.
They love water. Like, it's like all they drink. We don't even buy juices and soda and everything. Like, when I was growing up, I was not allowed to have that stuff unless it was like a special occasion, like once in a while. Like, my parents didn't buy soda and juice.
Yeah, so I've just stayed off of it.
Yeah, it makes a difference though.
Huge difference. Yeah, we just have Gatorade. In Florida, you just get dehydrated.
Yeah,
so.
you gotta have a lot.
Yeah.
You do have to have Gatorade, but they have. I mean, we've been lucky in that regard, like as far as like, because the juices with the sugar, and it's like it screws up your teeth, it dehydrates you, because that's all that juice does, just dehydrates you.
Well, that's another thing too. I mean, with teeth brushing, it's good that he only drinks water.
Yeah, we got a message, I think, from someone yesterday about the podcast. So we were talking about how yesterday the puzzle piece has started to like offend people, the autism puzzle piece.
Right.
And there's people who are upset, and they think it's offensive because if you're high functioning, that it's like, oh, well, don't call me a missing piece of the puzzle because I'm me and I'm not missing and I'm fine and everything. And so now it's like there's like this movement to, kind of eradicate and stop using the puzzle piece. And when I got this message, this is from a therapist on LinkedIn, I was like, this is not true. Like, come on. Like, I know that it's 2022 and everybody's angry about something and cancel culture, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, but there's no way that the autism puzzle piece is now getting fried. And there are some people. And then a woman, she messaged us about it.
Yeah, she said that she was in a group of people that were against ABA therapy. So she had to leave the group because then she realized she supports ABA therapy and it's been life-changing for her. And I wrote her back and said it's been life-changing for us. His therapist has been out this week, and it's hard. Like, you really have to prepare yourself to be extra patient and stuff because she can turn him around like that, so he's in a good mood. But for us, it's like takes a lot more steps.
Yeah, he's actually had a pretty decent week. I've been surprised. It's kind of like the walking on eggshells week, where you're sort of like, how are things going so well? Like, and you just feel like the meltdown's coming, and he's done pretty good. But yeah, she was talking about being in those groups, and she said that they, I think, I'm trying to remember. I read so many messages yesterday.
She said she liked the puzzle piece, and then she started talking about ABA.
Yeah, and then she said like the group started to get like, the woman in the group was starting to get a little crazy about things, and it got to the point where it was like, oh, just settle down, lady. You know what I mean? Like, just calm down, right?
Well, it was kind of one of those things. If you don't agree with them, then you're not allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she said they started going off on the puzzle piece and how it was, whatever. And then I got a message yesterday from a therapist. She's in California, and she was talking about the podcast, and she's like, hey, I love that you guys are pro ABA. So she works for a company of ABA therapists.
Yeah. And
she asked me, she's like, we were listening to the podcast, just curious, like, what's your experience with ABA therapy? And I was like, well, I mean, nothing but positives, we didn't know anything going into it. I said, I did do some research, and I did see some of the, the stuff, and you can go and find some videos of like, I think it's like hidden camera videos of like an ABA therapist and yelling at the kid or grabbing the kid, and obviously, I mean, that's not what ABA therapy is. It's not abusing your kid. So anybody that says that, because there are people that say that, it's like, well, I don't know what your definition of abuse is, but it's not that. Like, we're in our house every second, every day that we have a ABA therapist here.
Well, and
that doesn't happen.
No, and I said back on that message, I said it's like with any profession. I mean, there's good people in their profession and there's bad people in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's really all it is. I think you have to just find the right therapist and find the right strategies that they do to help your kid.
Well, and also,
it's not always a good fit.
Yeah, and also though, just because you have an ABA therapist doesn't mean that you're not a parent anymore. Like, some of these people that complain about it, I'm sort of like, just because the ABA therapist came in doesn't mean that you stop becoming a mom or a dad.
Right.
Like, if it's not right for you, this particular therapist and the relationship that they have with your kid, then you still have to mom up or dad up and do something about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't understand the whole, but we talked about this back, I don't know, 40 episodes ago or something, where it's like, there is a sense of like victim mentality with special needs parents that some, not all, some, they just feel like, oh, I have no control of my life anymore. And everything that keeps happening to me is because I'm a victim. You know what I mean? Because I have a special needs kid. It's like, no, you still have to take control of your kid, no matter what your situation is. Like, that's just part of the deal. And does it suck? Yeah. But you still got to do it.
Well, and just by bringing a therapist in, your life is not going to change overnight.
No.
This takes time, a lot of time.
Ours actually are, not even our ABA, just all of them have been very realistic about expectations.
Oh, yeah.
Like, very realistic. And and I appreciate that, because I'm just like, hey, you don't have to sugarcoat me. You know what I mean? Like, it's all good. Like, just, I get it. I mean, I know where we are. I know what's up. But, but they've all been really good about expectations. But it's funny, looking back, like, his first therapist was Ashley.
Yeah,
like, I remember she's like, look, I see things. I know that he'll get here. It will take time. It won't happen overnight. Da, da, da. But now I look back from what she said, and I'm like, whoa, look at him now. Like, he's stringing sentences together. I mean, they're broken up sentences, but you understand what he's saying. And he, even more so, because it's not about what I understand, I just like when he talks, he knows what he's saying. Like, he understands the point he's trying to convey.
Yeah.
That's almost more important to me than me understanding. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I remember when he started speech therapy at 22 months, and you were like, I don't think he's ever going to talk. And he was only saying, like, mama, dada. And I'm like, no, she's telling me he's going to talk,
Yeah.
Because at that point, we even thought he could be nonverbal. I mean.
Oh, he was so far behind. And I feel like even getting further and further behind.
Yeah.
At that point. And that's when we first, like, got into the whole world of this. But, yeah, no, because I was doing a lot of, like, research.
Yes.
And which, unfortunately, and when I say I'm doing research, I'm not driving to a PhD's office or sitting at the head of Harvard. I'm in front of a computer. So you got to be careful, when you turn on your iPad or flip up your laptop, like, what you're going to find. But
right.
I say all the time, though, I spend more time on Google.Scholar than I do Google.com. And there's a huge difference. So I would recommend people do that. Google.Scholar, Google Scholar is a lot more boring. It's not flashy. There's no ads. Like, it's actually like going into a library in like the 1940s, but that's actually the real deal, or more real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've gotten a little bit better with doing all that, but yeah, it's kind of crazy how far he's come. And they all said, like, this is where, but that therapist who messaged me, she's like, hey, could you give me like a little like rundown of like how ABA's been? Like, we're looking for ways to, get ABA like portrayed differently. And I wrote her back. I just said, listen, here's a problem that ABA has right now. It's all about marketing. You'll have one or two people that are out to get their kids ABA, and they'll do like the hidden videos, they'll download their Ring camera videos and put them on the internet. And that stuff spreads like fire, right? Because people are addicted to negativity and controversy. Mm-hmm. That stuff spreads crazy. I said, my family, I was like, we do a lot of videos about his ABA therapy. I was like, and it's all positive. I'm like, and then I was talking about that one page, Fathering Autism. He did a great video the other day. I've talked about it a couple times with his daughter and the ABA therapist. I'm like, I just think ABA has a marketing problem. And I know there's like HIPAA laws and stuff where you need to get the permission of everybody to put a video out there, whatever. And we asked our therapist, hey, can we take video of you and him? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. So we put out,
maybe we'll start doing more.
Yeah, we put out positive videos of ABA therapy. I think the ABA community should start incorporating that and say, hey, part of our strategy here is, we need to market what our services are, like what we do, why it works, how it works, and show the process in which it works. You just hear about the controversy about ABA, but like, I mean, we see it day in, day out. We've seen it for over a year. It's like, but ABA, the ABA therapy has a marketing problem. It's not marketed. They're on the defensive, right? Like, there's these couple of like videos and these really like controversial, or not controversial, but like vocal parents or high functioning autistic kids who are now adults, and they're screaming about ABA, and the ABA therapists are just sitting there and they're like, we don't know what to do. Like, we just like, no, it works. It works. Nope. It works. That's all they're doing.
Well, and everybody's kid's different. So you just have to find the best fit for your kid. And there's so many different companies. And there's ABA certified, which are called ABA therapists. And then there's BCBA, which is what our therapist is. And that's like the best of the best. And we're just lucky to have her.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing with her, with like what I've seen from like Ashley saying and stuff, like she lets him take the lead. She follows him. Yes, she makes him finish through on things, but she follows his lead, Like, she asks him, what do you want to do today? Do you want to go for a walk? Do you want to do this? She doesn't make him do something he doesn't want to do unless it's like a task that he has to get through, like put on his shoes or something.
Yeah. some too, like you have to understand, you know, the way that some kids will react to a therapist is also the same way they're going to react to their parents, their siblings, grandparents, and aunt and uncle. But for some reason, because I guess maybe you're not family or whatever, it's like, oh, look how that ABA therapist is acting with him or her. And it's like, well, that's actually how him or her acts with everybody. You know what I mean? It's like, so
yeah, exactly.
The therapists are in a tough position. Man, I could never do it. I could never do it.
But like I said, they're not going to change anyone overnight. You know what I mean?
I know. It's
so,
well, and this therapist who messaged me, she made a good point. She's like, hey, who we're running into now that's like really speaking out and causing a lot of problems are the high functioning now adults who are looking back and going, oh, my ABA therapist was so mean. You know, he or she was so like this, so that. And maybe some of it is true. Like maybe you did have a bad apple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just that now we're like going through that era of like, oh, I had an ABA therapist for 10 years and they were rude and mean and they did this and they did that. And maybe some of them were. But so it's just kind of like this is where the pendulum is kind of swinging right now. And that's why you hear a lot of the controversies about it.
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah.
It's like the older.
Well, yes. And it's the older, the high functioning adults who are now speaking out about the puzzle piece, who are saying it makes them feel uncomfortable and, you know, and everything. So it's just, we're in this like really weird generation with autism now. And so it's just, I think it's part of anything. And as anything gets more attention, you're going to start seeing splits, you know, in different little groups within, you know what I mean? So it's just, it's sad to say, but there are people who want to get attention off of this,
right?
You know, because autism is really starting to gain momentum as a real issue. And so people are really, you know, everybody's out for something, unfortunately. Not everybody, but a lot of people. So you know, if somebody wants to, you know, get crazy, then they're going to get crazy. And then this is kind of what happens. But I thought it was so interesting the way that woman wrote her message to us about, she was in this group and it was like, yeah, I was like, man, I can relate to that. Like, because I've been on pages where I'm like, okay, this is just getting nuts. Like, y'all are, like, I don't know. Sometimes you can get so into a cause that you really lose yourself. You know, you could almost become, like, you just totally lose yourself. And I don't know, it becomes, and I know, okay, maybe it's weird to say it's a cause, but I don't know. I guess it is a cause. I don't know what autism is. For us, it's just, I guess it's just a part of life. But sometimes you can get so into something where you're just like, whoa. Dude, chick, are you okay? Is everything all right? Like you're starting to lose yourself a little bit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I have nothing but positive things to say about ABA. And like I said, it's about you finding the right one for you. But there's so many steps that you have to take to help your kid do whatever they need to do. For instance, like getting used to a new sippy cup or drinking out of a cup. And we're learning how to do all those steps from our therapist, Lauren. And without her, she's our village, you know?
Well,
like when they say it takes a village, our therapists are our village that we need. And I appreciate her and the rest of our therapists, you know, because sometimes we're doing something or he's regressing in one area and she's like, you need to go back to square one and do this. And I'm like, no, square one? I have to do this all over again? And she's like, yes, you have to be where he is, you know?
Yeah, and Lauren, don't ever take a week off again or you're in big trouble. We're going to fight.
Oh, my goodness. But yeah, she puts you back to where he is in the moment and you have to start from square one and do all this stuff. She's teaching me. She's teaching us, you know? And we need her and it helps. So maybe instead of looking at things like, oh, you're going to fix my child right away. There's no fixing, you know?
Yeah, no, there's not. There's not. There's no fix. It's like, and we talk about the cycles and everything, like the whole, like, crap in the pants and reaching out and getting it. Like, that went away for the last few days. It just went away. It'll be back.
Right.
It'll be back, but it just sort of went away. Yesterday, he did a random throw-up thing.
Yeah.
He was in the pool yesterday, and he just coughed and then started throwing up everywhere. I mean, it's like, okay. Yeah. I mean, he's just...
I'm literally like, what is going on? Like,
yeah, and then you spend like an hour thinking about, well, could it have been this? Could have been that? Is he showing late signs, allergies to his antibiotics that he's been on? Did he swallow something? And he's trying to throw. I mean, it's just like, oh my god, like I gotta.
Oh my gosh, I
going
know.
on here? What do you mean he threw up? He's fine. You know, does he have a fever? Like it just.
I don't know. It's he's our special one.
Yeah, it's like
There's
okay,
always something.
Let's add puke to the afternoon. Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
Then I thought maybe he gagged himself on that new cup because it's kind of got a long straw, you know. But he didn't have his cup. So
No, he didn't have his
it's
cup.
just like, holy crap, like, what's going on around here, man?
I know. All right, Funyuns Friday.
Is today.
Yeah. So what do people have to do?
God, I'm glad you didn't let me forget. I was gonna absolutely forget about Funyuns Friday. All right, so go to. I guess I don't know. We don't really talk about how we do it.
Like, are you gonna post a picture of Funyuns and
Okay,
then
we'll
have people
post a
write
picture
comments?
of Cal and Funyuns in the bag.
Okay.
Do we have a Funyuns bag?
Yes,
What
I
a
think
dumb,
so.
What a dumb question by me, by the way.
Yes,
I just
we did.
won dumb question of the day. We'll post a picture of Cal with his Funyuns bag. Facebook and Instagram. We'll do it on both.
Okay.
So you can go to dailyautism.com, and that's how you can sign up, or not sign up. You can join Facebook and Instagram, our channels. And I guess anybody who likes it or writes a comment, we'll just randomly.
I would say you have to do both. You have to
Okay.
like it and write a comment.
Okay.
And if you share it, you get extra points.
Oh, okay. and
You're entered to win the drawing.
the drawing is we're gonna mail you a big bag of Funyuns.
Yes.
The big bag. I'm not sending you one of those little snack
Not the
field-
gas station bags.
field trip bags that you send with your kids, you know, that there's like 6 Funyuns in there. I wouldn't rip you off like that. You're getting a big bag of Funyuns. That's what Funyuns Friday is. In honor of, I don't know how this started, but somebody was like, well, explain autism. And I'm like, Funyuns for breakfast. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, that's right. That sounds insane, right? That's what it is. It's crazy. I was like, sometimes my kid loves Funyuns for breakfast. That's the way it goes.
And what was your favorite thing to do with Funyuns when you were little?
Oh, man. You remember Slurpees at 7-Eleven?
Yep.
They
Coke
used to
Slurpees.
have Coke Slurpees, Coca-Cola Slurpee. I don't know if
Yeah.
they still do.
Yeah, they do.
They do have Coca-Cola still?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dip Funyuns and Coca-Cola Slurpees. Everybody was like, you're crazy. And I'm like, I know. It's so good.
Take you back to your childhood.
Oh, nostalgia. If I ate that right now, I'd probably die.
Yeah.
My stomach would probably seize. I'd have a...
You have a sensitive stomach.
I do. Not back then, though. I could dip Funyuns. That's probably what made my stomach sensitive. I probably burned holes in my stomach. I can't imagine the combination, the chemical reaction of a Coca-Cola Slurpee and a Funyun together. Ooh, and I would eat bags of them.
Oh my gosh.
That was awesome. Oh, those were the days.
Well, I can't even eat a Dorito because it gives me heartburn.
Yeah. You know, all that stuff's just so bad for you. God, it tastes so good, though. Like the 10 seconds while you're chewing it, so good, though, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah. It's like, now it's like as adults, you have to chew that stuff and then spit it out.
Yeah.
You can't swallow it, but it's so...
So our beets. We were talking about beets, and I was saying...
Hold on, real quick
what?
before you switch. So are we done with Funyuns Friday?
Yeah, so Instagram, Facebook, like and comment on the picture.
Like and comment. And what we're going to do is we're just going to write everybody's name, and then we'll have the kids pick, and then we'll mail you the big bag of Funyuns. And
But
then
if you do share it, you get an extra drawing.
extra 1 point, extra
Yes.
name in the hat.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Like and comment to be entered.
Yeah, and then to find the Facebook and Instagram, if you're not on dailyautism.com, it's just easier that way, and then it all links there. Go to dailyautism.com.
Yep.
All right. Oh, beets, real quick.
Real quick, beets. We were getting the canned
I
beets.
tell you, this is the
random
now we're talking about
podcast.
beats. And she's talking about beets that, not headphones. You're talking about beets,
Beets that you eat.
the root vegetable.
Yes.
Beet.
Right. So we were getting the canned beets and putting them in our juice.
Well, by the way, beets are a superfood. It's like one of the best things you could eat ever.
Yeah, it's a liver cleanse for our drink juice. That's what we were doing.
Yeah, so we're just blending them up.
Yeah, we were doing like a can of beets, some of them in the can, like half a can of beets, apple, spinach, lemon, ginger, whatever. It was disgusting. You could they tasted like dirt.
Yeah.
That's my first encounter with beets. Then one of our friends roasted beets, and so I got some recipes and stuff. I roasted the beets for like 400 degrees for, I don't know, 50 minutes or however big they are.
50, like 50?
Well, it said 50 minutes, but depending on the size of the beet,
Okay.
you check them every 20 minutes.
So almost an hour.
Yes. Mine only took 30 minutes. Wrap them in foil. Anyways, we put them on a salad last night, a Greek salad.
Oh, that was awesome.
They were so good.
That was awesome.
They did not taste like dirt at all. So if you haven't tried beets yet, try to roast them, and you just have to keep checking them.
Okay.
Yeah.
A random
You
beat,
can just pull it up on how to do it.
a
but-
random beat update.
Anyways, they're good.
you-
They're super good for you.
Did you put it on social media, a picture or anything?
No.
No.
But you have a picture.
Yeah, I'll send it to you maybe. That was
Yeah.
good. That was really good and really good for you.
They're very good. Now I'm looking at recipes, and I'm going to be making beets once a week.
Jeff up the street has them every day.
Well, maybe I'll have them every day. They're super good.
Now, you can roast them and then put them in our juice, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to do that too.
I guess there's no point if we're going to blend it up.
Well, they taste better than the cans.
They do for some reason.
Like way better.
I don't
Like,
understand.
It's a completely different taste.
It's like it roasts the dirt out of them.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Oh, you're obsessed now. I thought
I like it.
You're going to be like dipping beets in cottage cheese.
That's probably not bad.
Yeah.
You don't like cottage cheese.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to dip mine in Coca-Cola Slurpee.
No, I found a recipe for beets, oranges, and goat cheese. Like,
Well-
that sounds good.
Well, that sounds pretty good.
I know.
I still don't love the taste of beet, but they were much better last night. They were much better.
I loved them.
I mean, they were good, but I mean, it's still a beet. It was
Well-
weird, the texture. It was kind of gelatinous. It was like
It kind of reminded me of a potato in a weird way because
It was like
I
a-
cubed them.
a Jell-O shot,
Yes, that's what it was like.
which were awesome.
Eh.
A beet shot. Yes, Austin. Hi.
Oh,
Come here.
gosh.
Come here. Come here, please. Thank you. All right, Austin just walked in the room. What are you telling everybody?
Cow pooped.
Ah, all right. That's your update.
Yeah.
Your mom's leaving.
Yeah.
Probably going to change his diaper.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good job. Now, how do you know? You just smelt it, or is it all over his hands?
Trey ran into the gate and said it smelled really bad.
Oh, okay. Hopefully he didn't reach into the diaper.
Yeah.
All right. I love you.
Tired.
Have a great day.
You too.